welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble here with your readings for September the 10th through September the 16th. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I really hope that you enjoy these readings and that you'll come back again and again. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for watching and sharing and commenting. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Now, I'm sorry, my nose always itches on these readings. And that's spirit letting me know that they're here. So, I start with it. For those of you who haven't been here before, I do start with an astrological report. I will be changing the format shortly. I usually do one intro and I put it on before every video, and you can skip that if you're checking your sun, moon and rising. First of all, these are general readings, guys. So if you would like a personal reading, click on this link here. And that will give you information about a personal reading. These readings offer your sun, moon and rising, and you can also, look, I'm on Instant Go. You can ask questions 24 hours a day and for not very much money. And I'm also on Patreon, another way to give back. So you can click on this link right here for Patreon. And I post things on Patreon that I don't post anywhere else. So, you know, and also there are different tier systems. So check that out. Anyway, just take a look. Now, the astrological, so I put the astrological report, and the new format that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do an astrological reading for each sign. And I will be putting, it'll be more individualized. But I probably won't be able to get that done till October. And as most of you know, that my mum is getting ready to transition. She's getting closer and closer. She's been moved out of a care home and into a nursing home. She was in the hospital for a bit. So, you know, it's a roller coaster ride emotionally for me. So you have to bear with me if things are a bit late sometimes, or, you know, I may have to run off to England, you know, at the drop of a hat. So I just wanted to let you be aware of that. Now, the astrological report for the week. On the 10th, Mars moves into Aquarius. What does that mean for us? Well, it means that the energy that's going to be available to us is we could kind of jump to conclusions. Before we hear the whole story, we kind of judge things and jump on the bandwagon, and it's hard for us to let go. And on the other hand, you know, Mars is a get up and go. It's action oriented, right? And Aquarius is very balanced and, you know, always looking at every side and every option. So Mars is a little bit kind of slowed down somewhat, but the good news is when you get, you know, Aquarius is ruled by the mind. So if you get these ideas, Mars will get on it and get it finished. So that's a good thing. Now, on the 11th, the Sun is in a really nice relationship and aspect to Jupiter. Now, this is very positive energy, very exciting, very optimistic. It's energizing. You're going to feel energized and very positive about things. So it's a lovely energy. And then on the 12th, Jupiter is in a really nice relationship to Pluto. And that is like determination and powerful. And so we can kind of discover our power and develop it on that day. Oh, there we go, itching again. And then on the 16th, there's a lot more happening, but I want to try to keep these intros, these astrological reports as short as possible, because I've had some complaints. Everyone complains. Now, Mercury is in a lovely relationship with Jupiter, and that's on Sunday, on the 16th. And what does that mean? That means we could get big, brilliant ideas, right? Because Mercury is, and communication, we'll really have, it's really nice to be out and in conversation with people, and because we'll have the gift of the gab, if you know what I mean. We'll be able to express ourselves and we'll be engaging, and that's the kind of energy that we'll have, and we'll get these brilliant ideas. So it's really a good time to kind of meditate at the beginning of the day, so you can quieten your mind and you can really you know, recognize those ideas, and so that's very exciting. A wonderful, Jupiter's playing a big role this week. So Jupiter is all about expansion, optimism. It's a, you know, it's a beautiful planet, and now, on the other hand, on the other spectrum of it, its shadow side, it can be about addiction. So I would say keep your focus on the positive, because that will expand. So I think it's a really good time to keep your thoughts positive and, you know, make long-term optimistic plans. That's what I would do. That's what I'm going to do. So without further ado, let's go to your card, shall we? Hello Aquarius, and welcome to your reading for September the 10th through September the 16th. And my glasses on. The first card out for you guys is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is like this expert kind of artist. He's very creative. He's an expert in his field, right? And number 3 is about expansion. It kind of represents Jupiter. Jupiter's playing a very big role in the aspects this week, astrological aspects. This is about creative energy. It's about becoming the master of your profession or your artistry. This is about really, and I always think about this card as being completely in the moment. Look, he's admiring his craftsmanship and creativity, and everything is kind of above him. This is a very auspicious time to focus all your energies on creative projects, or perhaps a life purpose, or something that really kind of feeds your soul. This week would be a really good, and I always think of threes, as I said, as expansion. So it's very important. This is manifesting energy too, you know, because the coins, the pentacles, are all about, you know, the earth signs. They're about manifesting. Now, clarifying it, you've got the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands kind of, well, this is about conflict, right? A little turmoil going on there. But if you see him, he's kind of standing above, right? He's coming from a higher perspective. So this isn't about fighting a battle and winning it at any cost. This is about coming from a place of what's the best for the group, right? This is also, well, this is very, I always think of this card as you, really, not in terms of the conflict, but conflictual in your mind. So I always think of this as an inner conflict for you guys, for Aquarius. And I always think it's about, and of course it's about, you know, looking at what's best for the group, right? The humanitarian side of Aquarius. It's about we, it's about us, but also your individuality and, if you know, quirkiness, if you will, right? you're independent. So say if you have a group of people that are kind of pressuring you, or your surrounding friends and family are pressuring you into doing something a certain way, or even at work, in your profession. And this card, when this comes up, it's saying, look, you can bend a little and compromise somewhat, but don't compromise your values. So it's very important to kind of, you know, sometimes we succumb to peer pressure and we think, okay, the whole group wants this, I should back off. But there are times when you need to stand up for your values and your belief systems. And this may be a time that you need to do that. Aquarius, there might be something that you really need to stand up for, not for the sake of standing up, just because you're standing out and you're speaking out, but it's your heart, your true values. When your mind and your heart are connected, you're going to know what's right, what's really right, you know, as opposed to what everyone else thinks is right. So it is a time to kind of, but do it in a very diplomatic and kind and compassionate way. You don't have to be a bulldozer, you know. Now the next card you've got is the Seven of Cups. 2 sevens, right? 7's introspective. That's why I'm kind of thinking this is almost like an internal conflict for you guys. So 7, I'm getting, you know, to clear your mind, to straighten your mind through meditation. I am getting that. And the 7 of Cups are all these choices that you have, right? You have all these choices ahead of you, and it's kind of confusing, and you're conflicted about what to choose. There's so much. So when the 7 of Cups comes up in a reading, I always say go inside, because look, this is Cups, emotion, intellect, intuition, psychic abilities, your gut feeling. When you go inside, you can quieten the mind, connect the mind with the heart, and then you can make a really informed and decision, a really informed and educated decision, right? So this is what, instead of analyzing and going over it in your mind, quieten the mind, connect with the heart, and you will intuitively know where to go with this. Now, you've got 2 cards clarifying this. You have the 6 of Swords, which is indicating that you're kind of ready to move on. It's like you want to get in a boat and you want to go to greener pastures. And this card is not about running away. This is not about running away. This is about moving on from a situation that isn't working for you. And you are understanding that it isn't working for you. And your fear, you've stayed in this situation because of your fear, the fear of the unknown and not knowing what's around the corner, right? The thing is nobody knows what's around the corner. There are energies that we can kind of, but there's no, you know, there is no definite way of knowing what's going to happen in the next, you know, for the future. For any of us, really. It's like faith, right? We have to go with our intuition. When is the right time to move on? It's the right time to move on. It is. It's the right time to make the right choice for you. Don't avoid it. Get in that boat. Even, look, sometimes the waters are a little choppy and a little treacherous, but guess what? There's definitely greener pastures out there. This is what you're meant to do. You're meant to move on. You're meant to move on from a situation, from a relationship, from a job, from an apartment, a house, whatever it is for you, you're meant to move on. This is a good time for you to move on. You have all these opportunities. So don't forget that you have these opportunities, Aquarius. Now, also clarifying this card, the 7 of Cups, is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is one of these, he's a messenger, but he's also like, he's got his sword up and he's ready to jump on anyone, right? And that kind of, this is a kind of, when this card comes in, it's saying take a breath, right? Don't just attack. Don't be quick to judge. Don't be quick to judge this week, because you might make the wrong choice. This is also, you can get some information that, look, the swords are about information. They're about messages. They're intellect, right? Sometimes they're ideas. This is kind of a message. Now, he's ready to defend whatever he has to defend, and he's ready to jump on anything that comes. The pages are these, they've kind of worked as apprentices, right, to knights. They've got all this information. They don't quite have all the experience that's required, right? But they have come to the end of their learning, and now it's time for them to experience. So this also, and actually that's what I'm getting for this. This is time for your next phase in life. This is time for you to move on. When pages come in, it's like you're ready for the next phase of your life. Look, he's ready to take on the next phase of his life. It's definitely time for you to move forward, Aquarius, and make this decision. There's all these decisions on the table. Make them. You've had some internal conflict, but things, once you make these decisions and you move on, you know what's not working for you. Really, be courageous enough to move forward. Because, look, the next card you've got is the Star. That's deep healing for you. This is a deep healing. This is emotional, physical, and spiritual. Look, a path is going to be shown to you. Just quieten the mind so that you can see this path and you can see the signposts. It's going to be lit up for you. The Star card is, she comes down and she spreads light where there was once darkness and illuminates a path for you. And this healing is taking place once you decide to move on. Don't stay stagnant, darling. You have all these cups, and in this card there isn't a bad choice. There isn't. The only bad choice is not making the decision and staying in what you need to move on. You know you need to move on. Whatever it is, you've got to move on. So the Star card is there to help you. And look, clarifying, it's the King of Pentacles. Everything's going to really work out for you. You're going to get healing. I mean, I have a feeling that it's even your finances will be healed, right? Because you've got the King of Pentacles, and he loves beautiful, he loves opulence. He loves luxury. He loves beautiful, shiny things. But he knows you have to get it through hard work. So things are not going to be handed to you on a silver platter, Aquarius. You have to get up and you've got to make it happen. And you can do this. You can make it happen. You've got a really nice aspect with Mars coming up. So that's going to help you make this happen. Aquarius, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it on your social media, comments. I love comments and feedback, so please comment on this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. For a personal reading with Mary, go to www.liveinthesolution.com.